Assalamu alaikum student. Now today we are going to discuss first generation computer. First generation computer started introduced in 1940 or 45 to 1946, and as I told you, first generation computer introduced on the basis of vacuum tube. So I I I have already told you about a vacuum tube. It is a kind of electronic switch used to regulate current in the machine, or it control flow of current in the computer machine. First generation started 1945 or 42 1956. Now see its feature. The computers of first generation use vacuum tube as the basic component for memory and circuitry for CPU. As I told you, these computers are based on the vacuum tubes. A vacuum tube is an electronic device or switch generally used to amplify a signal by controlling the movement of electron in an evacuated space. As I already told you about evacuated space means there is no gases in the space. All gases are removed. The first operational electronic general purpose computer, named ENIAC, Electronic Numerical Integrated and Computer, was built in 1943. So in this generation, one of the most popular computers introduced that was called ENIAC, and that was based on vacuum tube. Now you can see it consisted of nearly 20,000 vacuum tubes, 30,000 capacitor, and 70,000 resistor. That's why ENIAC was considered room size computer, maybe more than two or three normal room size. It's greater than normal room size. So first generation 1940 1946. Example of the first generation computer include ENIAC, ADVAC, UNIVAC, IBM 701, and IBM 6. These were most popular computers introduced on the basis of vacuum tube. Input was based on punch card. Output was obtained on printout through electric typewriter. So these typewriters were used at the time for output purpose. A first generation programming language is a grouping of programming languages that are machine level languages used to program first generation computers. So at that time, for programming purpose, machine language was introduced to perform programming. So machine language basically purely combination of 0 and 1. So all instructions are given in the group of 0 and 1. So an instruction is established. And this was very difficult language. Only inventor could know about it. So the basic benefit of this language was it runs directly. It does not require any translator, as I told. Originally, no translator was used to compile or assemble the first generation language. So this language does not require any translator to execute on that machine. The major problem with this language was it was machine dependent language, means uh, if any program is designed using binary language for that machine, so this program is not portable. Basically, this program was not portable. You cannot run this program on another machine. So all programs were specific to machines. So, so this is called machine language, which is also called the computer language. We also call it digital language. So these are two computers. Pictures are given, ENIAC and ADVAC. So you can see how large these computers and how you can see bulbs, or you can say vacuum tubes, which were used to compute computation of data at the time. Advantages: these computers fast and could calculate data in milliseconds. So before that, so this is was the great benchmark of that generation. So now you can calculate it in millisecond. Millisecond means you can divide one in 1,000 parts. So 1 divided by 1,000 means milliseconds. Vacuum tube technology made possible to make electronic digital computer. As I told you, there are many disadvantages because of vacuum tube. These computers were huge in size and taking entire room space. So in vacuum tube slides, I told you there are number of vacuum tube resistor, capacitor were used in first generation computers. So that's why computer size was very big. They would heat up and frequently shut down and could only be used for for very basic computations. So due to heat up, they got fuse, vacuum tube. These are the basically demerits of the vacuum tube, which were facing in first generation computer. These computers consume a lot of power and generate a lot of heat. That is why these computers required a large cooling system. So these are some disadvantages. You can see there are more disadvantages. These computers were very expensive and unreliable. So basically, these computers were very large. A lot of uh, hard work required, complex structures involved manufacturing, and so that's why these computers are very expensive. Only can be it could only afforded by a large organization, and they were unreliable because vacuum tube got failure. Large organization could use it for only specific purpose. So these the basic purpose. It can do only one or two tasks at that time. So that's why it perform basic purpose. Vacuum tools were the only electronic component available during those days. So this was another disadvantage. Very less work efficiency because speed was slow and memory was very small. Because this was the first generations, so that's why due to these vacuum tube deficiency we were facing these disadvantages. Limited programming capability and punch card were used to take inputs. This was so that as I told you, only one program can be made for one machine. Large amount of energy consumption. Again, this is the another disadvantage. Needed 3 or 4 days for machine setup each time for new program to be run. This is the great disadvantage because if machine got interrupted, so 3 or 4 days required to again make it functional. Use following link to watch video for further understanding. Thank you so much. This is the end of lecture. Have a nice day.